have to kind of stop calling yourself cringe. You have to stop that judgment in your head, because if you judge yourself, how can you expect other people not to? Because once you are not afraid of that, you're not afraid to be like, yeah, I put my best foot forward. That was great work. That was a really, really funny piece of reel that I made. That was a really clever or quality piece or entertaining reel, TikTok, whatever that I made. I love that dance that I did. I worked really hard at that dance. Oh, that lip sync, I looked fire in that outfit. Like, you have to be that level of okay to be in front of the crowd, to be under that spotlight and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take up space. That is what this whole feeling should feel like. It's no longer about hiding behind the wall or hiding behind the phone and just kind of like, ooh, yeah, I kind of hope like it takes off and becomes viral, but I also feel really, really uncomfortable if my peers, friends, people of my past see it as well. Hi guys, I'm pixienix, and you might have found me from some of my tutorial videos, but once in a while on my channel, I also like to delve into different topics and just have a little chat. So come into my little corner over here, my little pixie pod, if you will, and come join me for a cozy time, because today I want to be covering a thought or a mindset shift that has really helped me become a better creative and has even helped me gone viral or get a lot of views on my reels and other content pieces. Before we begin, I want you to get comfy, put on your sweats. Like, I literally put on these pants because I just really wanted just comforting vibes. Grab your tea and light your favorite candle. Today I am going to be lighting this one. It is by Zara Home, Dark Amber. Oh, it smells so good. Like, I really like the amber smell. I know some people don't. It just feels rich. And that's what we're gonna talk about today. Feeling good, feeling rich in yourself, in life. Hopefully this will help you become prosperous too. If it does, remember me. The last time I did this, I damn well burnt myself because I literally placed the fire part. My brain was not braining that day. Do you hear this? Oh, I thought that was the microphone. Yeah, that's how that happens. So I noticed that after I started implementing this thought process in my head, I feel like I started coming towards creating content a little bit differently. If anything, I hope it'll give you this extra motivational boost or extra like confidence boost with what you create, because it's definitely helped me do that. So I really, really want to deliver this message to you as well. And that thought is to not be afraid to be seen. When I tell you guys how empowering and cathartic it felt to finally digest what that means for me in general in life, but also like as a creative, it really, really, I feel like gave me a sense of freedom almost. So, okay, while you're here, just trust me, take a deep breath. Can we just all do that together? Because I feel like you kind of need it. I definitely need it. And also just like everything is so stimulating all the time. Just take a pause for a second. We need to recalibrate ourselves. Ready? Breathe in. Hold it. And breathe out. Now say this with me. I am not afraid to be seen. You can say it out loud, you can say it in your head, but I'm gonna go into how this one thought has really just kind of taken the front seat, the driving wheel of how I've been moving forward in my content. And I feel like I've been seeing results because it's truly just like a mindset shift. Here is proof as an example of some of the reels that have done better. I've been testing a little bit more on Instagram, so if you don't follow me over there, go do that, because I do a lot of different types of reels, and then I hope to come back here and talk about them on top of teach you how I make them. And you might think, okay, these numbers may not be, you know, 1 million views or whatever. It's coming, I trust. First of all, you need to do that. But for my size of my page and my audience, I feel like this is a right step in the direction. I feel like once you start ingraining this into how you approach your content, it really becomes a snowball effect. So often when we create, we know that we are putting it out there for other people to see, and innately, subconsciously, we are actually judging it from the eyes of others as well as from our own perspective as well. How is it going to perform? How are other people going to react to it? Is this going to perform well? Are other people going to think it's cringe? Am I cringe? I feel like every creative goes through all of these thoughts before even hitting publish. And first of all, it's very debilitating. Is that the right word? Is that a word? Yeah, that's a word. But it is kind of the name of the game, isn't it? We not only want to create for ourselves, but we also want to show our audience something, whether you are educating someone or providing some sort of value, some sort of entertainment. You are going to think about your content from that perspective too. But when I tell you, this mindset shift has really helped me become become a better creative, I mean that in the sense where it honestly has made me able to be more vulnerable. To be seen is also to be vulnerable to a certain degree, right? There are different creatives that show different things, and at least for me, I want to show up as authentically as I can be while still providing value with you guys. Basically, when you say to yourself, I'm not afraid to be seen, you are allowing yourself to step into the spotlight, which is essentially what you want to do as a creative, at least if you want to grow your page, your brand, your channel, whatever it is, right? Because you hope that it will find the right audience and you'll find your community and you can share your passions, your love, your topic of interest all together. Like you are here today and we are interacting like this, right? And I was talking to a friend, I think like a year or two ago-ish, and this conversation really stuck with me for some reason. And he was basically saying, what is your idea of success when you are doing what you're doing? Like, let's say I'm growing my channel. And he was like, well, it's essentially the numbers as well, right? And I'm like, I don't know. Do I really care about the numbers? And he's like, well, isn't that the entire metric of what it means to be successful? Because if you find the numbers, that also means that you have grown your channel, you have found your people, right? Essentially, that is what I took away from it. And it kind of hit me then and there. Yeah, in order to be successful, you kind of have to be seen. And that is a very scary concept. I think it just didn't quite calibrate in my head that that is what I was trying to do. And so I started adopting this motto in my head when I get really scared to try out new pieces of content or try out new ideas. I find myself now saying, it's okay, I'm not afraid to be seen. You are essentially giving yourself permission to step into the spotlight for an audience that may or may not like you, and that's kind of something that you have to embrace almost. When you start coming at it from that angle, you start embracing yourself, because you have to kind of stop calling yourself cringe. You have to stop that judgment in your head, because if you judge yourself, how can you expect other people not to? Everyone will judge nonetheless, because everyone has an opinion. Good judgment or a bad judgment, it doesn't really matter, because essentially you want to be creating from a place where you feel good about what you put out there. You feel confident that you are able and capable to just even perform in front of a crowd. If we're still going with this analogy of like stepping to the spotlight, you have to be not afraid to do this if you want to even take the first step. So one of my reels recently took off, and it kind of has just been accumulating, and it's been growing my page on Instagram. And I don't think I've necessarily cracked down the code or the secret sauce of what exactly it is that made it go viral, but I have some inklings, and I really wanted to share it with you guys today because it came from this one thought. I really wanted to try something new, a new type of energy and mini vlogs, because I really do love vlogging, and I was trying to figure out a way of how I can integrate that into my niche, which I suppose now is somewhat along the lines of like creative editing and photography and all of that, right? So I was trying to come up with a way that would be both entertaining for me and for whoever ends up watching my reels. Because I really wanted it to make it vlog style, I changed up my style of editing, but on top of that, I did a voiceover, which isn't foreign to my content, but what was the attitude that kind of came with it. I think that particular day, I was just feeling extra sassy, extra bold, if you will, with what I was writing down and scripting. Usually all my thoughts, my creative thoughts, kind of come at night, but I film in the daytime, so I feel a little bit like the energy is a little bit different. And when I was scripting that, it was more in the nighttime, and I was just like, just truly jotting down whatever my thoughts were in that moment, but that was very much authentically more me. So I feel like there's kind of a combination of what kind of helped my reel take off. One part is obviously all the social media best practices and analytical things that you should follow. And if you want to learn a little bit more about that, you can check out this video over here on editing best practices, because I go through them so that you know how to make your videos a bit better and just give it a good chance. But on top of this technical side of things, I also think it has to do with this mindset shift. Because if it weren't for this mindset shift or this thought, I would have never dared to even put that out there and then find the results and get the results that I ended up with today. Because of this video, it has started to trickle into all the other contents that I have made and put in work for, which I am very satisfied to see. And I feel like the beginning line really starts here. Because now when you have this baseline, you can truly and genuinely see what works and doesn't work for you as a creative and your content. It's sort of like that feeling feeling of if you never try, you will never know. And putting yourself out there, being vulnerable from this mentality is actually truly very nerve-wracking, and I totally get it. But would you really rather keep making content that is so boring to you and so foreign to who you truly are and your authentic self that you may not even be proud of? So when you step into this mindset, you really are saying to yourself, okay, I am going to be 100% or as close to 100% me as I can be. You're gonna stand by your own content proudly and be able to say, yeah, this is the latest piece that I can be proud of because I put myself in that spotlight. I'm not afraid to be seen. 1717 on my camera, if that means anything to you guys who are spiritual. A long time ago, I saw in one of David Dobrik's vlogs about him watching his vlogs with his friends and family, or having them watch it in front of him. Someone asked him, like, do you ever feel uncomfortable, cringe, icked about it, or just like feel really like embarrassed? And I think he said no, he doesn't, and he really enjoys watching them, and he's happy that, you know, his people are enjoying it. And I feel like that really clicked something in my head where it's like, oh, that's what it means to make great videos or make great content. It's when you can play it in front of other people and not feel like you have to like hide away from yourself in your hoodie, wrap yourself in a blanket and just like hope that it's over before you know it kind of situation. Because I feel like if you see your content that way, that means you feel like it wasn't good enough on some level, no? If you truly were proud of it, you would be okay with other people seeing it and for it to spread like wildfire. And if it takes off, that would make you really proud instead of being like, oh yeah, I shouldn't have done that. And that is also very much in line with this concept of not being afraid to be seen. Because once you are not afraid of that, you're not afraid to be like, yeah, I put my best foot forward. That was great work. That was a really, really funny piece of reel that I made. That was a really clever or quality piece or entertaining reel, TikTok, whatever that I made. I love that dance that I did. I worked really hard at that dance. Oh, that lip sync, I looked fire in that outfit. Like, you have to be that level of okay to be in front of the crowd, to be under that spotlight and be like, yeah, I'm gonna take up space. That is what this whole feeling should feel like. It's no longer about hiding behind the wall or hiding behind the phone and just kind of like, ooh, yeah, I kind of hope like it takes off and becomes viral, but I also feel really, really uncomfortable if my peers, friends, people of my past see it as well. Like, if people of your past see it and you're afraid of their judgment, first of all, who cares about them? But second of all, if they see it, it should be like, hell yeah, I made that. Like, you're welcome kind of attitude, right? Or it doesn't have to be that sassy, but I've kind of been on that roll lately, so just roll with me. But you get what I mean. For me, this mindset shift has come at a very rebirth time of my life. This has kind of been my Aries summer, I've been calling it, of just being out there more, no longer playing small. If you are a fellow anxious person, I think sometimes you can try to contort yourself into these corners of life or just behind other people, play extra small, make other people comfortable. Like, it makes you so nervous to make a splash. And it's kind of ironic that I'm saying that because my entire career path has been, you know, trying to make my YouTube channel grow, post on Instagram. Like, I'm a whole social media situation out here, but it's still scary. For as long as I've been in front of the camera, you'd be surprised. It's quite nerve-wracking every time you hit publish. It still is a level of I don't know if I'll say uncertainty anymore, but more like, oh, okay, people are gonna see this. I'm no longer in a place where I am shy that people are gonna see it, thankfully, and it took a while to get here. So if you're nowhere near here yet, I totally understand you and I totally have sympathy for you, but just know that that is a direction in which you can start to feel proud of your work, right? If you start adopting this mentality. But because of this whole Aries summer, I'm like, I don't want to play small anymore. I don't want to be in the corner anymore. I want to be able to take up all the space in the room, be louder if I want to, not obstructively. Is that a word? Oh my God. Has my vocabulary just gone off the rails today? Not to be rude to anyone else and not to overstep on other people's places, but to just have your own space. Take up your own space, step on your stand, grab the mic and be like, hi, I'm pixienix and this is what I want to talk about. And do you know what I think it ultimately comes down to? I think it comes down to showing your personality. That's where the true vulnerability kicks in. Ooh, that is really what it means to be seen. Because when you put your personality out there, then you're finally starting to show who you really are to dozens of people, hundreds, thousands. hundreds of thousands, then it can start to get a little bit like, holy crap, what are they gonna think about me, right? I think a lot of the times we hold back our personalities, especially online, which is maybe a tactic. Maybe that is how people like to stay private, which is totally fine. I think internet personalities can be very different from reality as well, and whether or not you'd like to bridge that gap as close as you can is up to you. I think every creative is very different. I try to make it as close as I can, but ultimately you always have like an on version of you, and then a kind of like more chilled out, off, like before you go to sleep, like low energy, first thing in the morning kind of energy as well. What was I saying? I think the reason why we don't show our full personality is because we are very afraid to be judged. A very uncomfortable feeling that a lot of people, if not most people, experience is that they don't like the feeling of being misunderstood. We don't like the feeling of being judged by others in a negative light, and then we always want to course correct and be like, wait, that's not what I meant, or no, I'm not really like that. Like, you somehow need to justify the fact that you have your opinion. And I feel like cancel culture is so bad these days, and that might be a very controversial thing to say. Maybe I'll get more into that in another video. It's kind of crazy and kind of strong, and I think that also is what holds people back from showing their more authentic personality. There are also some people who you kind of can tell are trying to put up a certain front and be a certain personality without being fully themselves. Whether or not that is a conscious choice, I don't know. I do think that as a consumer or as a creative myself, but also as an audience, you can kind of tell. And there's some sort of disconnect between the creative and what they are putting out there. I'll be the first one to say there are so many pieces of content in my past as well, and maybe even now, that I do that where I'm trying to be like my best self, and then I feel like that kind of stifles my videos. Truly, like when I watch back some of them, I'm like, oh, I wish I just put more of me in there, but at least I'm safe. How many times have you created a piece of content or haven't even begun creating it because in your head you feel safer by not doing it, by hiding behind whatever illusion that you've created for yourself, or procrastination that you have told yourself many excuses to just like put off whatever you wanted to create, right? I don't even know how this video is gonna go. Maybe there's gonna be like a dozen people watching this, maybe 100, and it'll just stop there. And you know what? I feel the most authentically me, and I really want to share this message because it's been on my mind for a long time, and I feel like it needs to just come out of me and translate to you guys, because if you're still here watching this, first of all, thank you. Comment down below, because you might be my people, and I've been looking for you for a long time. Maybe it is what you needed to hear, you know? And maybe we do just need to sit down, get cozy, and just have a little chat in my pixie pod. I don't know, I'm trying out that name. Tell me if you like it. Hopefully this video can bestow some insight and perception and help you really get out of your creative rut if you are in one, or just help you get started in whatever you are trying to pursue creatively, because that's my entire channel, right? It's all about content creation and just becoming a better content creator. Sorry if like my conversation has taken a million turns. Sometimes my brain just, and I need to like get all the points out there. You get me, right? Truthfully, you just can't be living your life worrying about all the judgment and all the misunderstandings of the world. Like if someone just refuses to try to understand you, your perspective, your content, whatever it is it really worth it to wrangle them into understanding that no, that video is actually just out of irony and I was being comedic, or no, I actually have more personality, I'm actually a really funny gal behind all of that. If someone refuses to see you for who you are, you're never going to change their mind. All of this, today's teaching, applies to not only your content and your creative pursuits, but also to life in general. Okay, I'm that friend. I'm trying to spread some wisdom onto you. Personalities are what make all content and all successful creatives out there successful. I used to talk to a friend of mine, and we would use this example of Justin Bieber. There's no point of being the next Justin Bieber because Justin Bieber already exists, right? If you're an artist, there's no point trying to be the artist that you look up to because they already exist. If you could be them, it would just be them, okay? You can have your inspirations, you can have your favorite content creators, your favorite influencers, whatever it is, but you could never be them because they're the best version of who they are in their niche and what they're doing already, because they exist and that's why you like them. So you have to be you, because only you could be that version, the best version of you. If you are looking for more creative assets, by the way, check out the description down below. I have a free posing guide and also some exciting things coming up, so stay tuned, subscribe to the channel as well. If you think of your favorite creatives, you end up realizing that you really like them down to their personality. That's why good businesses exist, because it's attached to a personality, right? That's why there are things called personal brands. That's what influencers are. They're literally attached to the person of who they are. But if you want to be successful for yourself, and I'm talking to me here as well, you have to show that part of you. You have to actually give people a chance to know who you are, learn who you are, and then decide for themselves, do we like you? Do I want to follow this person's journey? Because some people, at least for me, okay, if you think like this, other people think like this too. And the way that I think is, wow, I really like this person and I want to see their growth, their journey, whatever it is. If they're like a small micro influencer or content creator or just a great artist, filmmaker, whatever it is that's in my niche, like photographer, all of that, I'm just like, wow, they take really good work. I want to see what other things they come up with. I want to see how their creative mind works. I want to see the other experiments that they do, and then I'll follow them. Other people will feel the same about you if you can show up for yourself, right? Other people cannot accept who you are if you won't even accept yourself yet. And in order to do that, you have to start nudging yourself out there onto the stage, take the mic and say, hi, this is who I am, and I no longer want to be afraid to show you that. Let me know in the comments down below if any of this resonates. I really want to hear you guys' perspective on this. So if you made it all the way here, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being part of this conversation. Thank you for sitting through, for listening, for supporting my channel, and sitting through the ads, because that's the easiest way that you could support me as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.